Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a fundraising, nonprofit, or charity website right from the very beginning all the way through to the end. We're going to be using WordPress and we're going to go through it step by step. It's going to be amazingly easy for you. Don't worry. But what we're going to do first is I'm actually going to show you what the end product is going to look like so you know where we are going to get to. So this is where we are heading. This is going to be our homepage with this image in the background and our big statement piece just here. We've got our header at the top with our various pages: home, what we do, contact, about, and a supporters page is going to be very important, which is going to take us through to our charitable donations page. As we scroll down, we're going to have a little bit of information here about our impact to get people interested and involved in the cause, and a little bit of information here about what we do. This is, of course, for a fictional charity. We have made this up to create this website, and all you're going to have to do is input your charity's information while doing this. So as we head down, we've got a lovely counter here. We're going to show you how to do that really, really easily. And then we've also got a gallery, which you can put in your own images. This is all going to be done in just a few clicks. Now, here's our first look at what you can do and how you're going to be able to donate, accept donations with your charity, nonprofit, or fundraising page. And that is using this here. This is from Charitable, and this is going to allow people to immediately give to your site, what your goal is, and how it's getting along. I'm going to show you this in more detail when we click on that link at the top from our header. As we come down, that's also from Charitable. And then we have a little bit of information here. If you have partners, you can add yours. Again, another option to send people through to donate, and a footer. This is all going to be designed and it's all going to be very, very easy. I'm going to scroll back up to the top here and just have a look at the other pages. We've got a what we do page. So let's have a look at that. It's going to take you through to here. You can see we've got our logo in the top left. That's going to be across every single page. I'm going to show you how to upload a custom logo. And as we scroll down here, you can see, again, a little bit more information to educate people about what it is that your particular charity, nonprofit, or fundraiser does. There we go. So that's a good one. And then I'm going to show you towards the end here how to add something like this, like a please support us button, a call to action button that you can put right into the middle of a page here by just dragging and dropping. And again, that links out to our charitable donations page. Let's go back up to the top again, check out the contact page, which is, as you would expect, a way to put in all of your details. And you also have a section for messaging. Where is your particular establishment located? You can have this, you cannot have this, but we're going to show you how to add it. And in actual fact, we're not going to have to do much at all in order to add that. All you're going to have to do is amend it for whatever you want. Across to the About Us page, that is going to look like this, a little bit about who we are with another gallery plugin that looks absolutely lovely, along with some information about your vision and your mission. You can add all of this in order to tailor it to your specific charity. Back up to the top again, and we're going to go across to the Support Us button here. Now, this links from multiple buttons across the site, but we're going to use this one just to show you this is our charity fundraiser page. This is how you're going to be able to accept donations immediately using Stripe or using PayPal. It's really, really easy. And you're going to be able to amend this to fit exactly what your fundraiser is. So as we come down, there's a little bit about the campaign there, some more images, and we've also inserted a wall of fame. So when people donate, that's going to come up here with who's donated and where, literally a wall of fame to celebrate those that are supporting you. This is what our donation project page is going to look like. And if someone was to click here onto Give Now, it would take them through to this page here to allow them to make a donation of their choice, a custom donation, and then fill in all of their details along with taking a payment, again, through Stripe or through PayPal, which are both built into Charitable that we're going to be using today. So that's really easy to do. Like, obscenely easy if I am being honest. Let's go back to the homepage there, and I tell you what, it's probably time that we get started. So our first step is to get you a domain name and hosting. Both of these are absolutely critical. You cannot build a WordPress page without them. Now, don't worry, it's not complicated and it's also very, very affordable. Here we recommend Bluehost. So if you click on the link down in the top pinned comment or in the description, it will take you through to this page here where you're going to be able to get a huge discount on using Bluehost for your domain name and also for your hosting. You see here, you're going to get a free domain name for the first year, which is immediately saving you money. So we're just going to get started now. And you can see all the options that are available, and it depends on what different features that you want in order to choose which one you want to go for. But realistically, for a lot of people, this basic one here is going to be absolutely fine. And that's what we're going to use today. So here you can see Bluehost takes you through to this page where you can register your domain name, or if you already have one, just click here and use the one you already own. We are going to register a new one. If you're not sure what a domain name is, well, quite simply, it's what you're going to type in the top of the screen in that bar in order to find your website, www.yourwebsite.com. So whatever your brand name is or whatever you want your website to be, that is your domain name. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to register a new domain name. Bluehost will then take you through to the cart here where you can see what you've got. So you've got your domain name, yournewcharity.com. That's what we're going to get. And again, we're getting that for free. You have domain privacy and protection. Now you can remove this. It is only a free trial. You get 1 month free. So you can leave that on, remove it later, or you can just remove it altogether. For the sake of ease today, I'm just going to remove that. You can see we also have our hosting, which is great. Again, at that discount, $23.88 for the entire year. You can change the period that you want it for, but 1 year is by far the cheapest at the moment. You also get the option to have a professional email. So for example, yourname@yourwebsite.com, which can be very useful. Again, it's a 3-month free trial. It's not particularly expensive after that either, but for the sake of ease again today, we are going to remove that. That leaves us with everything in our cart that we want, our domain name and our hosting. You can see it's a grand total of just under $24 for an entire year. Very, very affordable. And then we can just continue to check out. From here, you're going to fill in your contact information and make your payment for your $24. At this point, what's going to happen is you're going to get an email from Bluehost. In that email is going to be a link so that you can log in. And that is where we're going to go to now. Once you've clicked on that link, this is where it's going to take you to your Bluehost WordPress hosting dashboard. Now you want to be into the websites tab on the left-hand side here. And this is going to be your option. Now you can see I've got quite a few websites that are already on my Bluehost account. You're not going to have that. Don't need to worry about it. All we need to do is just click here onto add site. From here, you've got a couple of options to choose a site type. So you can install WordPress, transfer an existing WordPress site, or other, where you can essentially create an empty environment. We want to install WordPress. So click on that and click continue. Here, we're going to give your site a title. This can be changed later, but quite simply, we're going to call it Your New Charity. There we go. And we are going to continue. Then it's going to ask you to connect your domain. Now, obviously earlier, literally a minute ago, we had a look at domain names. You got your domain name through Bluehost. This is where you want to enter your domain name and connect everything up. This is actually very important to make sure that you get this done. Once you've done that, you can click continue and it's going to install WordPress on your new site. This is literally a few clicks and you are getting ready to go. So once that install process is completed, you can see that you have your new website just down here. The settings are more of the back end. We're not going to worry about those today. What we're going to do is we're going to go straight through into edit site so we can start building your nonprofit or charity website. And that will give me the opportunity to show you how to install plugins such as Charitable. Okay, Bluehost is then going to take you through to this screen here where you have some options. They have a brand new AI site creator that you can use. You can import a WordPress site, and you can go through Bluehost's own guided website setup. All good options, but of course, you have the option down here. I'm following a tutorial. Take me to the admin dashboard. That's what we're going to go for. So if we just click here, and it will take us straight through to what is now going to be the Bluehost dashboard. And then just over here, we also have the WordPress admin dashboard. This is where we are going to do most of our editing. So we can see from here, from the WordPress admin dashboard, we have a notification that your site is currently displaying a coming soon page, which is great because it means that we are only showing, let's have a look at it. We are only showing this. Nobody can see what we're doing behind the scenes. And this is our front end. This is what people are going to see when they come and visit our website, when they type in that domain name that we've just bought. So if we want to have a look at what our website looks like once it's launched, let's click on Launch Your Site. And you can see here that this is in the Bluehost dashboard, because that's where the coming soon page comes from. We can turn that off. Oh, there we pressed it too many times. We're going to turn that off, and then we can actually view the site. Now, you might assume that there would be nothing on the site because we have added nothing to the site, but that's not the case. You can see we have this entire page. Now, it's got nothing to do with what we want to do, but there is something there. And all of this is coming from the website's theme. There is a pre-installed theme on this particular site already. It comes pre-installed with WordPress, and you can amend and change any elements of your themes. You can think of themes as the general overview of what your website looks like, and then you can start to change things within that theme. This particular theme is fine, but I'm going to show you how to install your own theme and how to customize that to get the look that you're going for. So in order to do that, we are going to go back over to our WordPress admin dashboard, and we're going to come down to Appearance and across to Themes. You can see in the themes, there are already 3 that are pre-installed: 2022, 2023, and 2024. These are the themes that WordPress provides that are for each year. Literally, we are in 2024, so there is a new 2024 theme. However, we want to add our own theme. So we'll come across to this box here and just click on Add New Theme. Now, from here, you can see there are hundreds and hundreds of available themes, and these are all free. You can use any of them. Now, some of them are going to be freemium themes, meaning that there are certain elements that you might have to pay for in order to get that particular feature, but you can use the theme in its base model for free. And the options are fairly endless. So I am going to give you a theme that is incredibly customizable and that I like a lot, and that is Astra. This is also one of the most popular themes on WordPress. So in Astra, we've searched for it in this top right-hand corner here. You can see it's now over here, and we can install this. Now, again, don't worry too much about what it looks like. That particular element, all of those different elements can be modified and adjusted. So we're going to come up here and we're going to click on Install. And once Astra has installed, we can click on Activate. Again, here Astra is going to give you the option to build your website using AI. We're not too worried about that. But with the new theme activated, we do want to have a look and see what it looks like now. And you can see, again, it doesn't really look a lot like anything, and that's completely fine. We are going to customize this website to look exactly how we want. But how are we going to customize this website, especially if you maybe don't have any kind of background in web design? Well, this is why, or one of the reasons why, we chose the Astra website, because there's a companion plugin that we can use that's going to be really, really helpful. Plugins, let's get into those. So on our dashboard, we're going to go across to plugins and to add new plugin. If you're not sure what a plugin is, you can consider it as somewhat like an app that you might have on your phone. It provides additional functionality to your website. We're going to come across to search plugins, and we're going to look for starter templates. And there we have it, this one here. Now, this works in collaboration with Astra. So we're going to click on install now, wait for that to install, and then we're going to activate that plugin. Once your starter templates are active, you'll get this screen right here. You have the option of an AI website builder or the classic starter templates. We're going to use the classic starter templates, so just click on build with templates. And from here, you have all of the options that starter templates can give you. And essentially, these are somewhat of a pre-built website. It has all of the text and all of the elements added so that we can amend them. So, with there being so many options, which one should you use? Well, it's entirely up to you and what design. Now, bear in mind, some of these are premium and paid, but there is plenty of free ones. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come up and I'm going to search for charity because that's the kind of style we are looking for. And you can see there's a couple of premium options here, but this one here is completely free and seems to fit what we're looking for. So let's click on that one. And it's immediately going to give you an overview of what that website might look like, and we can start to amend it from here. Now, everything that we do change or amend here, we can change again at a later date. We don't even have to do it right here, but I'm going to walk you through a few steps anyway. We can see immediately that we can start to adjust the different fonts. Pick one that you like. Again, this is all changeable and something you can amend at a later date as well, and I will show you how to do that. Let's go with that one, and then the same with the colors. You can actually see immediately as we click on the colors, there we go. So you can start to choose your own personal look. Again, all can be changed at a later date if it's something that you don't like. Once you've done that, you can also upload a logo if you would like. Again, can be done later, and just hit continue. Starter templates will also ask if there's any features that you want to add, such as collecting donations online from your website. We don't need to worry about any of this because I'm going to show you how to do this with Charitable, which is a much better way of being able to do it than just selecting these options here. So we're just going to skip this step. Finally, you can just add some personal information should you choose, and it's entirely up to you if you want to share the data. And then you just submit and build your website. And there we have it. It says it took 16 seconds and it's built your website. So let's go and have a look at that. So this is what we had originally. And now by clicking on visit your website, we now have that charity website that we have added, and we can start to amend this to suit our every need. It looks great. Now it just needs to be our charity, and we need to be able to accept our donations rather than it just looking obviously very generic. Okay, so we like our website. It's not specifically for us. So how are we going to customize that? There are two ways that you're mainly going to do this. One is where you're going to do something that is going to affect the entire website. So you're going to make one change and it's going to change, for example, the font in every heading on every section of the website. But then you can also make changes on a smaller level in terms of what each individual section looks like within a page. So we could, for example, change all the font on the website here, but we can change what this specific button does as well. Let's start with what is going to change on the whole website, and we're going to do that with the customizer and by pressing on this customize option right here. Now, there are so many options of things that you can start to customize from here, but let's go through a few of them, starting by clicking on this global option right here. And then I told you that you could change the font back if you didn't like it from that first section. And we do that by clicking on the typography. Again, you have all of your presets. We can just click on it. It will automatically change and load to the new one. And then we can get into more details. For example, if we want to change the font for every single heading, we can click here. And you can see at the moment it's Crimson Text. And let's change that to Crimson Pro. And you see the immediate change there. And then if I scroll down here, we're going to be able to see that apply to multiple places all at the same time. There we go. So this is what your customizer is going to do. It's going to change everything across your entire website. You can also get even more detailed by changing things like the weight of fonts. So it's extra bold, so it's easy to spot. And we can come down here, and then you've got things like gaps and spacing, and there we go. You can start to change all of that as well. It's every single thing is customizable, but be aware this is impacting your entire website. So we can go backwards, and going back into colors this time, still from the global menu, we can have a look at colors, and it's going to give you some suggestions, maybe some different styles that you can immediately use. So you can see the differences there. And then you can change individual colors. So say we don't like this color here and we want it to be brighter, we can bring that all the way up and it makes that amendment. But as I say, it makes that amendment absolutely everywhere on the website. Let's bring that down a little bit. And it applies to every single color. Now, obviously be aware that you want this all to match up and work well together. If you start to change some colors, for example, changing that to white, you see I've actually made all the text disappear because the background is also white. So make sure that it works for every element of your website. Okay, so we've got a few more things that we can start to edit. We've got the container. This changes how your website is displayed. We're not going to mess around with this too much today. And then we're going to head down to buttons. These are your buttons just here, and you've got some presets. So you can see we can click this one. We can make all of our buttons rounded. We can have square with rounded edges, and then we can start to change the colors as well, background colors and text colors. Now, bear in mind that any colors you see that have this globe icon in them, that is going to attach itself to multiple different areas of the website. So if, for example, we were to change the background color, this one here, and say we change it to this blue color. So you can see it changes, but it also changes on this button up here. So if you're looking to just adjust the one button, this isn't the way to do it because this is going to adjust all of your button colors. And then if you want to get a little bit more inventive, you can start to change the padding, which is essentially the distances. So you can see I've now created more space at the top of that button, which obviously looks a bit strange. So let's put that back, and we can do the borders as well, should you have any borders, but at the moment we don't. So let's go back out. So in the global, you've also got other options here, but we're not going to worry too much about those today. And we're going to head back out and we're going to go to this section, the header builder, because this is something that is built into the Astra theme that is really, really beneficial, and it makes your life so much easier. Generating, editing, and creating headers can be quite difficult or time consuming. Doing it this way is going to save you an awful lot of time and effort. So once you've clicked onto your header builder, you can see that you're going to get this box down the bottom here. And this essentially displays what your header looks like. So headers are 3 rows. So you've got the top row, which is currently empty. The middle row, which shows my site title and logo on the left, like so. My primary menu, this one here, and then a button, this one here. And what the header builder in Astra is going to allow you to do is just to move these around nice and easily and add elements if you want to. Let's move our site title and logo to the middle. Like that, nice and easy. We can move our primary menu directly underneath that. And then we can move our button underneath that. There we go. And you can see that we've immediately changed what the entire website kind of looks and feels like. And again, let's just move that back to roughly where we were before. And it really is that simple. Now, what we can do is we can start to add additional elements. So down here, you can see that I've got lots of pluses where I can add different elements. So if I just go over here and click on the plus, I can add various other elements. And I'm going to add a search option. So click search. And you can see over on this right-hand side, I have the option for a search bar. So if somebody clicks that, wants to search through the website, they can. I can also come across to design, and you can start to adjust things like your margins and the width. So you can see we've pushed that right out onto the edges or just into the content width. Back over on elements, we can start to look at our site title and logo, which is very important. This just up the top here. So we can click on there, or if we just click on the little blue pencil icon, this applies to any of the options, it will take us straight there as well. And from here, you can see what the logo is. And there's also a retina logo. So if somebody has a particularly a retina display, there you're able to see what that logo would look like there as well. And you can start to change the width, which then obviously adjusts the size and the height. But what if you want to adjust your own or put in your own logo? We can do that nice and easily by going up to logo here, and we're just clicking on change logo. So this brings me through to the media library, and this is all of the media, all of the items that have already been added to the website. These are all the photos that are already through this website, but my logo is not here, so I need to add it. I can do that using upload files. So I'm going to click on this one, and I can either drag and drop the file into here, or I can click on select files. So you can see here, I have the charity logo that I want to use. So I'm just going to click on that, and it is going to upload it just here so that I can select it. Now, it is worth noting that it has a suggested image dimension here. It's 180 by 60 pixels, but we have our image, and let's just press on select. And you see how it's asking us to crop the image. We can do that just there so that we get everything in that we're looking for, and crop image. So you can see the logo is there, but it's actually not showing up here at the moment. Now, the reason for that is because I have different logo for Retina devices turned on. And for my device, that is a Retina device. So I need to turn it off to be able to see what that looks like. Or obviously, I can just change this image to match this one so that it displays the same on all websites. As you come down, you can also change your site title, which is still called Your New Charity, which is ideal. It's important to actually have this correct because this is what's going to show up in your tabs. See just here, Your New Charity. So this is where you want that to show. That's where that's going to show, and it's important that it actually says the right thing. So make sure that that is correct, and then you can start to add a tagline as well. If we head down a little bit further, you can add a site icon. You can select a site icon. Again, it's going to do exactly the same thing. Pop me straight back over to the media library, and I'm just going to use our logo for the site icon. And now you can see that instead of having just a generic element here, we've actually got the site icon just there. So it looks like my logo. Okay, back across to our header builder down the bottom here. I'm actually just going to remove that search element because I don't want it. And then we can also head across here to the buttons. So you can see here we have the donate button and the donate option here, and we can start to change this. So if I want the text to say something different, like for example, support us, that will change straight away. And then what we can do is we can add a link to that particular button. What that can do is when you click on that, it can send you off to a different page of your website so that you could maybe ask for a donation. This is exactly what we're going to do very shortly with Charitable. We're going to link this particular button out to your Charitable page so that people can make a donation. And you can also have this to open in a new tab so people can stay on the homepage where it is available. Okay, and then we can head across to design, and here again, various things that you can start to amend and adjust. Now, what's the difference here is, for example, we can actually start to change the background color without influencing any of the other buttons. You saw earlier when we changed the button color, changed all of the buttons. However, in this instance, what we can do is we can start to change that color, and you see how it doesn't impact the other button. So let's change it to that. And then let's change the text to that. So let's have it in reverse. And you can see this other option is the hover color. So if you go over here, there's nothing showing at the moment. So let's give it a hover color. Again, let's call that blue, and let's change the text to gray. So now when you hover over, you see you get that change. But that only impacts that one button. It's not impacting all the buttons like we saw before. I like it matching up, so we're going to swap that back, and then we're going to head down and see what else we've got within the customizer here. So you can see we are starting to get towards a website that is ours. Of course, there's still a lot of content to be changed, which we will get to, but we have our own logo, we have our own style of fonts, we have our own colors. It's all starting to look pretty great. Now, before we leave the header builder, there is one more thing that I want to show you, which is the primary menu just here. Now you can see that in this section, it doesn't actually give you many options as to what you can amend from this primary menu. So we have to configure it from here. And she says configure menu from here. So let's do that. So you can see here, it's saying that your theme can display menus in 5 locations, and you can select which menu appears in which location. Now you have to be able to create the menus in order to do this. It's giving you the options here, create new menu. Now you can do all this from the WordPress admin dashboard as well. That's why you have to come out a little bit to get to this. So from here is usually the easiest way to do it, particularly if you haven't done this before. So we're just going to go ahead and edit the primary menu by clicking here. So the first thing you see we can do is we can just reorder items. So if I want the About Us to be at the end, oh, hold on a second. We've gone a step ahead here. The About Us to be at the end, we're going to put it there. And as you just saw, if we want to create a sub menu item, we just shuffle it across slightly, and you can see it just there with the About. Now we don't want that, but it's useful to know that that is something that you can do. Now what we might want to do is we might want to add another item. So we can click on add item, and it's going to give you pages. So these are different pages that are already available on the website that we can add. Once you've created more pages, you will have more options here. You can also add posts. So if you have blog posts that you want to add, for example, we only have the one blog post at the moment because we're a brand new website. This is a sample post. We can actually add that to our menu if we want to. Similarly, if we have categories and tags that we've used for various things, we can make them menu items, and the same with custom links. So we can actually create a link all of our own from basically any page anywhere and provide it with link text and add that to the menu as well. So once we're happy with our header, we can head over to the footer builder. Now the footer obviously being at the bottom of the page, and it is the same process. We can start to move around different elements depending on where we want them. So for example, say we want to bump that copyright up to the top and across to the left here. There we go, straight in there. Looks a bit weird. Let's put it straight back. If we want to add any additional elements, we can do that in exactly the same way as we did before. Footer menus, HTML widgets, that kind of thing can all be added. If we want to change or amend the design, we can do that as well. We're going to head across to the design here, and we can start to adjust the background color image. Remember, with that globe icon, it means we're going to change it across the entire website, and we can start to change things again, like the padding that we showed before, just to give it a little bit more space or the look that we want it to. If there's any particular elements here that you want to amend, come across, click on that little blue pencil icon again, and it's going to give you the option to change it. So the title here is saying contact. Let's just change that to reach out, and you can see it changes and amends immediately over here on the website, or it would do if I had typed it correctly, which I have now. Again, change the address, any contact info, anything like that. It's all really, really easy to edit. So that is pretty much all of the key global items taken care of: fonts, colors, headers, footers, things that are going to appear across all pages on your website pretty much, and everything you can change that affects multiple other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to publish this so that you can see it, and then we're also going to head back across to the WordPress admin dashboard where we can start to amend different areas of your website on a slightly more individual basis. So let's head down and hit publish just here, and once that's published, if we check out the website, give it a quick refresh, and you can see that we have generated our amendments. Everything's in there, everything's changed, and looks exactly as we made it. Nice and straightforward. So now we've done that, let's just X out of this particular screen and head back to our admin dashboard. Okay, two of the most important things that you are going to use are pages and posts. A post is somewhat like a blog post, for example, something you have written. A page is something like your homepage, a contact us page, a physical page that somebody can navigate to on your website. So what I'm going to show you how to do is go to pages here, and we're going to start to edit a few individual elements within a page. And we're going to do it with the home page, which is the one we have been looking at so far. So I'm just going to click on edit. So what this has done is it's brought us through to the block editor. And this is by far the easiest way to change and amend different elements of your website. Now, it might not look exactly like your website screen, but it is very, very close, and everything that we need is right here. It's very much a drag and drop, simple to use system. So the easiest way to amend and edit any of this is quite simply to click on the element that we want to amend. So let's select this heading here, for example. Now, we would have had some issues, and it would have been impossible for us to change the color of this heading in the previous page in the customizer, because changing that black would have changed every single other element that was also attached to it, the global attachment. So what we can do here is we can click on it. We can head over to this right hand side where the heading is, and we can start to amend it. So if we go to style, we can now change this particular color. So if we click on select color, and we can even start, we've still got our template colors, and let's use this one here. So you can see, really simple. That is now that color. However, we have not impacted any other colors on the page. Works for anything you want to do at all. So this is how you're going to make those changes just to individual elements. So it's not as good for being as expansive and making sweeping changes that are going to affect your whole site, but if there's individual elements you need to change, this is the way to do it. The same applies to images. Let's say I don't like this image here. I can click on it, and over here it's giving me the option in the right hand side to change that image. So we click on change image, and it's exactly as we discovered before. We have the media library. I don't want any of the pictures that are in here, so I'm going to upload a new one. So there you can see we have a new image added nice and simply, and then we can start to change alignment as well as the size. You'll also see as we look down the website, there are various items that do things, have functionality. So as we scroll down, we actually have this one here. So if we click on it, you can see we essentially have a counter. Now this is a block that has been added. Now I'll show you how to add blocks very, very shortly. Most of them are going to come from here. So this is the block inserter, and you've got a whole host of various things that you can start to add to your page. I'm going to go through this in more detail when we get to adding Charitable. But we can see that these are also editable within this blocks editor. So this one here is showing 100,000 plus members worldwide. And on this right hand side again, you can see that you have a variety of options. So let's change the ending number. Let's say we have 5,000 members worldwide, and you can see how that bumps up. Do you want any decimal places or anything like that to add? What kind of layout do you want? It's all various functionality, and this all comes from adding a block. So a block that a lot of people are going to want to add is something for their social media. So you can either come down here, it says here, type or choose a block. So you can come here and you can just start typing if you want to just add text. Or we can come here again, press on this blue plus icon, and then we can search for social media. So I'm going to look for this social share button just here, and I'm just going to drag it into the area I want. And there we have it. Immediately, I have all of my different social media available. So if I click on this one, again, you have options to edit what you want there. Now, again, because we are adding this in this area, we're not adding this using the customizer. That's only going to show on this particular page on that one area. So let's save this, have a look at what the website looks like now with those couple of changes. So you can see we now have our website with those slight amendments we've made. We have that new image there. We have that slight change in the text color over here. And then if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we have our social media links here as well. Really, really easy to do. But of course, our charities page is going to need a donations plugin, which is what we absolutely were here to do today, is to show you how to build the whole website and allow you to accept donations, which we're going to use Charitable for. So what we need is we need the Charitable plugin. So from your WordPress admin dashboard, we're going to go across here to plugins and add new plugin. From here across to the search plugins, and we are going to search for Charitable. There it is, and we just have the option here to install now. So this is all from the WordPress plugins repository. All of the plugins that you can find here are going to be free. You can get paid plugins with additional functionality, but the ones here are free. Once it's installed and we've hung around for a second, we're just going to click on this activate button as well. There we go. That just took a couple of seconds and we're into the welcome to Charitable page. We'll walk you through absolutely everything there, but I'm going to talk you through it anyway. So the first thing that we need to do is to create a campaign. So you can do that here by clicking on create your first campaign. But I also want to show you that Charitable has appeared in your sidebar just over here. So we're going to click on that as well. This is the Charitable dashboard where you're going to be able to track all of your key elements, all of your key donations, refunds, and you're going to be able to get things like support and track your campaigns all from here. What we're going to do to start with is just create campaign, as I mentioned. Everything from here with Charitable is incredibly easy. So we're in the campaign builder and we can hit let's go. First thing, we want to enter your campaign name. So, oh, that didn't go well, did it? Charity fundraiser. Of course, this is going to depend on what it is that you're doing. And then there are multiple pre-built templates down here, which I would absolutely recommend using. So we're going to use this one just here by just clicking on create campaign. Okay, so we can immediately see that that wizard, the campaign builder, has presented us with a great looking campaign page immediately, but we can change and amend as much of this as we like. So we could say if we wanted to adjust this photo, we can click on there, head over to upload, and this is again going to take us over to our media library. So I'm going to select a photo that we've already got in place and just upload that one. The same can apply to any of the elements. So the donate now button, we can change what that says. We can maybe change that to give now. There we go. We can bring the width down should we want. There we go. And I like the fact that that's aligned in the middle. We have tabs and advanced sections. We don't need to worry about this too much. And for now, we're just going to leave it unless you want to start changing the colors, which of course you can do. So even if we wanted to make this a slightly brighter red, we can do that. You'll see down here we have our goal. So let's go to edit that one. So this acts as a progress bar. So we can change what that is for the headline. So let's call it every donation counts. And that's giving us a little bit of a headline there, drawing a little bit more attention to it. And we've got the donate label here if we want it. We can just change that to donate, but we don't need to do that. I don't like that. We're going to leave it alone. The goal label is down the end here. So we're just going to leave that as it is as well. Now, what we will do is we will change what the actual goal is here. I'll show you how to do that very, very shortly. But for now, let's just keep on moving down and amending this as we should see fit. Again, another image here that we're just going to edit. Over to upload, and we're going to upload that image just there. Perfect. Now, you're not limited to just what is available to edit that's already on the screen there. What we can do is we can come across to the add layout section, and there's so many different things that we can start to add. Now, we've already got the progress bar. See, drag and drop. For some reason, you might want 2 progress bars, but let's get rid of that one. Yes, I would like to delete. And then if you want to add more photos, we want to add maybe an organizer, or I particularly like this one here, the donate amount. So it's great to have the give now option here so people can click and they can give now. But very frequently, if you just provide them with an immediate option to donate, just like that, that is going to allow it to be a lot simpler for the people who are looking at this, which then allows you to gather donations a lot faster. It just increases the efficiency of the transaction. So you can see we have 5, 10, 15, and 20 as options there, and you can amend those however you see fit. Let's just give them a quick change in increment. There we go. And then we like to have the custom donation amount as well there. So it just means that people can give more should they choose to. Back over to the layouts, and you can see various other things that we can start to add. We've already got the social sharing and social links in place just here. And then what we can do is we can add a donation wall, which I am going to drag in just under here. So what a donation wall is going to do is it's going to show your donors, the people who have given last and how much they've given. It's kind of like, a wall of fame. Now, what we can do, and that I think is useful, is we're just going to hide that if there's no donors, so that it means that it doesn't look as if there's nothing happening with your campaign. You can choose if you want to show your donor's name, show the amount, and show that particular donor avatar if necessary. What we can do is come across to the headline, and we can literally call it a wall of fame. Just a nice way for people to see recognition, and also a little bit of social proof. If all of these people have decided to donate, it's obviously a worthy cause, and obviously other people should donate as well. Now, with the pro version of Charitable, you get extra options such as donation forms, the ability to upload videos, the ability to give updates and things like that. Some of them are really, really useful. However, the elements that I think are most beneficial with the pro version of Charitable are right here. So you have the marketing option. This allows Charitable to integrate with your email marketing software, which can be really powerful when it comes to trying to get the word out about your particular campaign and increase your number of donations. And then also your payments. Now, Charitable comes with Stripe and PayPal built in, which is absolutely incredible. But with the payments, you do get a whole bunch of other options if you have Charitable Pro. Okay, once we're happy with how that looks, we're just going to head up and save it. We can then preview how that is going to look. And there we have it. So this is your campaign preview, and you can see how that would fit onto a page. So this is what our page looks like using our theme. There's the footer there. And then you've also got the leave a reply. This is quite literally on every single page because of how our website is designed. And then everything here is what we have just designed and placed on with our Charitable campaign builder. However, we need to get this onto a page on our website. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to put it as publish. And then once you've done that, it says here, congratulations, your campaign has been published. You can either view it, but we've just done that. But what we actually want to do is we want to embed the campaign. So we're going to go to the embed wizard. Now we have two options as to how we want to do this. We can either select an existing page or create a new page. So I'm going to show you how to do this in two different ways. I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. I'm also going to show you how to do it using the wizard. So the first thing we're going to do is with the wizard. So we're going to create new page here. And we're going to name this page, and we're going to call it Charity Fundraiser. And let's go. So that's immediately made me a brand new charity fundraiser page, which is great. And then I can click just here to add a block. And the block that I can add is the Charitable campaign. Now I could have done this from the blue plus just up in the left-hand side there. So Charitable campaign. Charitable will come up and ask me to select the campaign. And it's the only one we've created so far, the charity fundraiser. So let's select that. So from here, we can publish. Click publish again. And that's giving us the page address. So this is where it has been this is where the page has been created. So let's view that page. There we go. So this is exactly what we created. You'll notice that all the fonts and everything have all changed to match what we have on our theme, which is great. Now what we can do now that we have our page is we can head back to our site and head up to the customizer that we were in before. We've done this. We know exactly how this works. And then we can head down to our header builder and we can select the button. So this is our support us button. So let's select the button. And then for the link, let's just paste in the link to the page that we just created. So that one there, and publish. So if we head backwards, come out of this, and we have a look at our website now, when we click on the support us button, that's going to take us directly through to our charity fundraiser. So now every time somebody clicks that, it sends us through to this page that we have created in order for us to be able to gather donations. But how is this going to work to actually accept donations? Well, if we just quite simply click on the Give Now button, we're going to be automatically redirected to our charity fundraiser page. So our donation, which one do we want to choose? Choose your custom amount, enter your team details, and you're good to go. You've got all the card payment details and everything like that is already in there. And depending on what it is that you've set up, whether you've set up Stripe or PayPal or one of the other options, if you have Pro, you'll immediately be able to receive that payment. Now, I said I'd show you another way to create that page. So we're going to go across to pages here, go to add new page. This is without using that embed wizard that Charitable give you. This is nice and straightforward as well. It's almost exactly the same. So let's go with this one and we're going to call it Charitable Campaign. And then in the block section, exactly the same as before, we can just click and search for Charitable, select Charitable, and select the campaign that we want, the charity fundraiser. Nice and straightforward. We can publish that. And again, it's giving us our page address here. So we're going to copy it. And before we go on, let's just view that page so that you can see that essentially it is no different. There you go. It's exactly the same idea. It's created the same page. So we have our new page. Let's go back to customize. And this time, instead of adding it to the support us link, we're going to go back to the header builder though. And we're going to go across to the primary menu. And we're going to configure that menu. This is all stuff that we looked at before. And we're going to edit this primary menu just here. So edit menu. And as we looked at previously, we're going to add items. And you can see we have the charitable campaign. So let's add that. That's now showing as an option. But what we can do, let's bring it up to what we do and make it a sub item. Absolutely perfect. You can see if we go to what you do, you have now the charitable campaign just underneath there. Absolutely ideal. So let's publish that. And let's take a look from the website. So we now have the supporters and then also the charitable campaign under what we do. We click on that. It brings us through to that page. Absolutely perfect. So I have just realized that our header is actually not showing properly on this particular page, which isn't ideal. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an amendment that's going to work for this page and of course all other pages, because our header is going to be adjusted on all pages. So we're going to click on the little pencil icon here, going to come across to design, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to give the menu a background. So let's click on here and give it that background color there. I like that. That's absolutely perfect. So let's publish that now that we have that amended as well. Okay, and there we go. So we now have the background around our header, which looks great and also means that when I go to the charitable campaign or I go across to the support us option just here, it's still going to be visible and look great. And I still have my fundraiser page available. But you don't have to make individual pages if you don't want to. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back across to the admin dashboard. We're going to quickly come down into pages. And because I have this twice, I'm just going to delete the charitable campaign page. We're going to keep the charity fundraiser one, which is connected to the support us link. But the charitable campaign, we're just going to trash because we don't need that page twice. Then from here, we're going to come across to the home page, our front page. and click on edit. This is going to take us back through to the blocks editor that we were looking at before. So this is our home page, and what we're going to do is just scroll down here. You can do this anywhere. I just want to put it in this area. Is I'm going to click onto the block inserter. I'm going to search for Charitable. I'm just going to drag and drop the Charitable element into there and select the campaign. So you don't actually have to just add Charitable to one individual page. You, as a standalone page, you can add it onto any page that exists, in this instance, our home page. So let's just hit save on that. And let's have a look and see what this page now looks like. So we have our page absolutely as normal as we scroll down. And then in the middle of our page, we have our donation campaign. Everything is there. Now we can even create a specific campaign for that homepage if we want. But this is what we have. And now not only can people find it from the support us button, show that again, like this, ideal. They can also find it on our homepage, which potentially is going to be incredibly powerful. Now quickly, something that I didn't show you earlier, if we just go across to Charitable and into our campaigns, we have just created that campaign. Click on this one and we're just going to edit. I'm going to edit it with the builder. Here it is. So you can see my campaign. And what I didn't show you is that if we come over here into settings, this is where we're actually going to adjust the goal. So let's say our goal is $5,000. And let's say we have an end date of December. There we go. So we can save that change. And if we come across and we view that live, we'll be able to see that that's actually now given us 107 days left. And the progress bar is actually now active for that $5,000. So if you are going to use a progress bar, then do make sure that you have the goal amount turned on and chosen. So back on our WordPress admin dashboard, there's just a couple of things left to do. We're almost complete. So we're going to head across to Charitable again, over to the dashboard. And what we need to do is we need to enable you to actually be able to receive those payments. So we're going to come up here and it's in the Getting Started section. You need to enable a payment gateway. So we can click on that. And that'll take us through to this page, which is the payment gateways in the Charitable settings. If you can't find that there, you can just come across here to settings, and that will take you to the Charitable general settings, where you can adjust things such as your base country, currency, what those things look like, what your decimal separators are. You get the idea. And then what you can do from there is, if we go back up to the top, we can go to payment gateways. That's exactly where we were a second ago. And you can see your options. As I said earlier, you've got Stripe and PayPal built in. So you can select any of those and enable the gateway on the free version of Charitable. But if you want to use more or different payment options, you will need to use Pro. So in order to enable your Stripe payment gateway, you can just click here on Enable Gateway. That's going to take you to here where you can change your gateway label. That is the label that will be shown to donors on the donation form. We're just going to leave it as Stripe, and we can click here on Connect with Stripe. Now what this is going to do is it's going to take you through to this page here. Now, of course, in order to use Stripe, you actually need to have Stripe. So you need to have a Stripe account. So you either need to go through and you need to register for that, or you can just connect an existing Stripe account by just putting it here and clicking on submit. I'm going to do that now, and I will meet you back at the payments gateways. So back on the payment gateways with Charitable, once we've done that, you can see here it's telling me we're connected. We are in test mode, so it's connected in test mode. We can just save those changes that we've made there, nice and easy. And then if we head over to our Charitable dashboard again, you can see that it now says in the Getting Started section that we have activated Stripe. So that's all good to go, and any donations made can now be received. You can obviously do that with PayPal as opposed to Stripe if you want to. So let's take one more look at our website and see if there's anything else that we want to change. We can see we've got our header up here. We have our title. All the texts and formats are exactly as we wanted them. Now, of course, we've stuck with some of those default images that were on the template, but you can change those. Same applies to any of the text. We've stuck with a lot of the text because we are just demonstrating this. However, obviously in the blocks editor, as I showed you, we can go through and adjust any of that. We have our new images, we have our new colors, we have all of our different what we do information. We have our block here, our counter block, which really adds something dynamic to the page. We have our gallery here, again, another block that can be added. And then we have our charitable, just here, our charitable donate section, where you can obviously donate from the homepage, which is definitely going to increase the amount of conversions. As we come down, you've got the about section again that is attached up with the charitable donations. You've got the wall of fame, and then we can head down to another donate button here, which is linked out, the social media that we added, and the footer that we amended to however we wanted. If we scroll back up to the top, we can obviously go on to the support us button, and that's going to take us through to that charitable page that we made. Absolutely fantastic. Again, the footer and the header as we wanted them appearing on every page along with our logo. We can check out other pages, the what we do. If we just click there, see we have our what we do page, and this runs exactly the same as any other page. If we go back to the dashboard and we go to our pages here and we look at all pages, we can go to the what we do page, click on edit, and you can see we can start to amend this and adjust it however we should see fit. Add some extra text, change some colors of some text depending on what we want to do. Head over here. There we go. It's all very easy to do. We can scroll down. We can find areas here. Like this looks like a bit of text that maybe should be expanded slightly. So we can change that however we like. Nice and easy. We might want to add another block. So let's just go to the block inserter here. So let's scroll down and see what we'd like to add. Let's add a call to action button. So where would I like that? I'm going to put it just into there. You see how easy the drag and drop is on that. And immediately I have the call to action. So please support us. And then we're going to add some text just underneath. Okay, let's just click on here. Just change that text to something else. Let's make sure I've spelt please correctly. And then obviously we have the call to action. So we've got the button here. Let's change what that is. I'm going to make that into a donate now. So again, we can add another link into that in order to send people out so that they can then donate using our charitable page that we've created. Again, let's drag and drop and just adjust as we see fit. So again, let's say we wanted to adjust this. We're currently adjusting the heading here. So let's go down to button and we'll change the text color on the button. Let's make that white. Obviously that makes it disappear, but then let's change the background color to that one. So the whole thing pops a little bit more. So that's in the style tab. If we come across to general, again, we're looking at the layout, but if we close that, we can go to button, open that up. We can start to adjust what that button looks like if we want to, but honestly, I quite like it the way we were, or we can just inherit that from the theme. So that's going to change it back because this is what the theme as a whole looks like. Once we've done that, as we scroll down, we can go and we can insert a link again to send it through to that charitable donate page. As with everything, there's a huge number of things that we can then begin to adjust for each individual block. You can see the flexibility that you have, but we're going to leave it at that and we're going to save it. So let's go back to our website, just have a quick look at our contact page that's also there. That's absolutely great. And then obviously we have the About Us page as well. Fantastic. And then of course the Support Us, which brings us through to our charitable donate page. And if you want to add additional pages, we've already shown you how to do that as well. And there's your website, everything from getting your domain name, getting set up, using a theme, and also using a template. And you can see how they add so much structure and so many different elements to your website that you then have to just amend, and it's so easy. I'm going to leave a link to Charitable down in the top pinned comment and in the description. And if you want to see another video on how to install plugins that are going to allow you to accept donations and payments, then please click this video right here.